Hi, everyone. Welcome to Level Up Live. It's great to see everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today, we are going to talk about failure. And I know this isn't everyone's favorite topic, and it is really, really difficult to deal with. I was going through some of the comments on the Facebook page this week, and I heard a lot, excuse me, I saw a lot of people talking about their fear of failure. So I have some suggestions. I have an idea just for a little tweak to your goal setting that is going to help you um, conquer that fear of failure and also develop a little bit of resilience so that then next time you have a setback, you can deal with it just a little bit better. And so, like I said, we have a lot of fear of failure going on, but the honest truth is we're all going to fail sometime. And as a matter of fact, if you're not regularly failing at something, you're not setting your goals high enough because some of the best ways that we can grow is to get out of that intellectual comfort zone that we tend to try to stay in and to try new things. And that means that failing is not a bad thing necessarily, and that we can sort of harness some of the energy that we expend in that failure and use it to redirect our efforts. So, the thing that really hurts when we fail is that we don't know how to recover. So, I don't know if any of you have received a journal rejection and let that keep you from working on that article for days or weeks or months or years, because that feeling that we have attached with that to that rejection is just taking over, and we just don't have the mental capacity to plan our next steps. And so, what we really want to do is plan for that failure. So, this sounds very, very counterintuitive. I know we want to think about the successes that are going to come, we want to have a positive mindset going forward. But today, for a moment, I'm going to ask you to imagine yourself failing. And then what I want you to do is I want you to plan out in detail how you will recover from that failure. So if things don't go to plan, you will be prepared and you will know what your next steps are. And so we're going to get into some details with an example. I think that this will be really clear once we use a couple of examples. So we're going to take some writing goals that I would say most of you have. For example, I will publish this paper in X journal. So are you an amazing scholar and writer? Yes. Is there a very good chance that your paper won't be accepted? Also, yes. This does not mean that you are not a good writer, that there is a problem with your writing. It means that this is not the right journal for you. And I think that we sometimes think that journal acceptance, for example, is a direct measure of the quality of your writing. But remember, journals reject many excellent articles every year, every month. And so we're going to try to take some of that personal and emotional energy out of it. And we're going to create some if then statements. And so, first one, if my article isn't accepted at X journal, then I will have my mentor read it and help me decide on any changes to make. I will then submit this article to Y journal. Let's try another one. If my article is rejected with comments, I will read those comments and make any necessary changes, and then I will submit it to Z journal. And the last one, if my article is rejected, I will call my best friend and I will have her remind me that I'm a worthy scholar and a good writer. I will get a good night's sleep and I will start fresh the next day. So this process, this practice that we're going to start doing is helping you visualize possible outcomes and solutions to the problem. So when you don't have a plan in place, you'll be dealing with the emotional fallout of the failure while also trying to plan those important next steps. And as we know, whenever we're trying to plan in the heat of the moment, we end up making very emotional decisions and we end up making decisions out of fear. So, what I'm saying is don't plan in the heat of the moment. Do it beforehand when you're thinking clearly and with less emotion. So, let's try one more example. Say your goal is to get an NSF career grant. That's been a very popular goal recently. So, what if you don't get it? Let's make some if then plans. So, if I don't get the NSF career grant, I will contact some people in my field who did, and I will ask them for advice and or to read my materials next time. If I don't get the NSF career grant, I will give myself one free evening of junk food and romantic comedies, and then I will start over in the morning. If I don't get the NSF career grant, I will focus my attention on the NIH grant application because I may get that one. So again, the reason that you want to imagine yourself failing is to minimize the control, the emotional control that that failure has on your life. So the goal is to treat that failure as a lesson and be ready to pivot. And be ready to pivot by knowing your plan ahead of time. And as you can see, I've included in the plan how you are going to take care of yourself emotionally, because that is very important. We cannot expect that we will be able to take the emotion out of every rejection because that is just difficult to do. We connect ourselves emotionally with our work. And so what you need to do is before you can get to that emotion, you need to plan for how you're going to deal with it. Do you need to take a nice bubble bath? Do you need to go for a walk in the woods? What are the ways that you deal with those emotions? Plan those ahead of time. Maybe even put them in your calendar. When you get the email back, then you know that the rest of that day is going to be spent doing something for yourself to take care of those feelings. And then you move on to the next step of your plan. And that is what we call resilience, because you know that you're going in the right direction and you know that a failure is just another step towards the eventual success.